Hi everybody, welcome to my channel for a new battle report. I'm continuing to train against Elves. This time it was my mate Shizu from the channel Blackwood who wanted to try out a Sylvan Elf list, so we played a game together. My list is still the same and his list was the following. He played the Prince on a Dragon, Master Shamanism, Apprentice Druidism, and Briar Maiden with the champion as another mage. Then he had a BSB with the 4 poison shots, 9 East Riders with shield full command, 2 small unit of archer, 2 small unit of forest guard, a tree father, 5 eagles that you don't see a lot on the tables, and then 2 shooty unit which is 9 sentinel and 6 Pathfinder. So basically he has an MSU avoidance list, kind of avoidance. I mean, scoring wise he's not so strong, rather small scoring unit, and basically limited combatability between the Prince and Tree Father mainly, and then some support pieces, but as you can see, not so a combat list, mainly avoidance and shooting. And luckily for him, we played randomly Capture the Flag. Happy me. On diagonal, which is not the good news as well. So we'll see how that goes. And below you have the spell selection of both player. We both have a lot of spell. Matchup analysis. So the secondary objectives, Capture the Flag, seems hard to win. He has plenty of non-scoring chaff that he can feed me when I push. Obviously I'm going to try to, if I can, obviously I would like to start and I will try to be aggressive and attack him. First of all, it's training game, and second of all, I know for a fact that if I stay away from him I'm going to lose, because he does more than me from range. I want to force him to feed me chaff to my Triton and Tuscus when I push him, and overall I feel the matchup is very complicated. Basically, it's very much, it's a lot secondary objective dependent. If you were playing like All the Ground is a good example, I would start at 13. It's like not almost auto win for me. And flags, it's like an almost auto lose for me. It's really hard to win and also hard to draw. So it's not going to be easy. Deployment, and to make things worse, I won the roll for side, meaning he could start the game. I didn't found a perfect, an easy choice for the side. I just gave him an impossible and tried to kind of minimize the type of cover he might use, but this wasn't so easy to do. And then he dropped for first turn, putting some Briars. I forgot to mention he had another small unit of Briar Maiden, the Tree Father, Archer, Sentinel with characters, Pathfinder, Guard, basically covering angles for Totemic Summon, and the Dragon here in front, another Archer unit, the East Riders, and here he had his Eagle unit. My counter deployment, basically I put on the far left my Frost Mammoth, then the Tuscus, Mercvets, and Tribesmen in the middle. I didn't find a good way to minimize what he might do at my Mercvets, because I cannot put one of these units in front since it's Capture the Flag, and if I put the dog, he has volley fire, so he shoot over them. I couldn't really hide behind the wall because he could easily move to the side and shoot me. So I didn't find a way to do it properly, and therefore I just went starting line. I think there is no good solution. Maybe by picking a different part of the map I could have found another solution, but here in this case it's not going to be easy. So yeah, Mercvets with BSB, the remaining character here I went 5 wide to see as much ground as possible, and here just dogs and my giant, and the Bruiser Darts are at the moment chilling in the back. His turn 1, didn't move much, rearrange his line. He 4 dice, break the spirit on my Death Star, I had to let that go, and he also got with 3 dice against 3 Swarm of Insect on my giant that did 2 wounds, and between all his shooting attack he did a total of 9 wounds to my Mercvets. So I'm already half unit of Mercvets down, which is not a good start. I haven't shot once and I already killed most of my Mercvets. My turn 1. So yeah, like I wanted, I reform forward and push forward, keeping the dragon in my front arc. No matter what he does, it's going to be front arc. Push the Tuscus as well, and keeping the Frosty to cover the angles, avoiding him to go out of angle here or here. and keeping the threats in the front, and I wanted to get close to those archer units. The rest just rearranging a bit my backline, starting to push with Giant, keeping a front, tempting him to charge me to get a free check. I would be steadfast, so I feel it could be a combat that goes in my favor and helps me to open up this right flank that is pretty much blocked at the moment and stops my dogs to really push forward. In the magic phase, I fail on one die Swarm of Insect. I think I got Chilling Goal, and he Dispel Hand of Heaven. With shooting, I did 2 wounds to the dragon, which is not bad. His turn 2, it just moves back, and to my surprise, he attempted a charge on a 6 on the flank of my Death Star with the Eagle. I don't know really why, to be honest with you. I think it doesn't need to. It can just stay away. I would have moved, I think, behind the Impassable to just keep a solid battle line and just be annoying for me when I push forward. I feel it didn't need to do it. Obviously, it would have stuck me 1 turn. Yeah, most likely he would have stuck me 1 turn. He has a charge, a flank. I have 2 ranks standard, so I'm up by 1. I'm going to get 8 attack strength 4 plus 3 attack strength 6, and he has like 10 attack strength 4. So it's not even sure to win. I felt it's just an unnecessary risk. He has everything under control. No need. I would just move them back here and no need to do anything crazy at the moment. But luckily for him, he failed the 6 charge. I think luckily for him, because he would have just given me this unit for free, basically. He heal 1 wound on Dragon and Magic. Get a big Break the Spirit off on the Tuskers to avoid me getting the 10 charge here. The charge wasn't too sexy, because if I get here, I get no overrun, and then he will just turn around and shoot me. I felt it's not so sexy, so I allow him to get it, and obviously the Tree Father was out of the angle, and even if I attempt the charge and I fail it, he would have the Tree Father in my flank, which is not good. So yeah, I felt no matter what happened, obviously I could have marched more forward, but with Break the Spirit I can still move 8 and still be a threat. And the Dragon in shooting did 2 wounds to the Tuskers. He did some wounds to the Tribesman, I guess, this round. We will see. Yeah, he killed like 2 Tribesmen, exactly. So he's continuing to do damage on me. I charged with Giant on the flank of those guys. They decided, obviously, to flee. Pass of them, they passed the panic check. And the rest I just pushed as much as I could while keeping the Dragon in the front arc of the Kagadai unit. Here I turn around and basically trap the Tree Father. He cannot move out of arc. No matter what happens, I'm going to be able to charge him. And the Tuskers still have a line of sight on those archer and can possibly charge them next round. Turn around the shooty Mercvets to shoot at him. Maybe I could have been further away from the rest of his line, but I didn't think too much about it. Yeah, he shoots so far away. I think even from here, it's not an issue for him to get range. Even I'm here, so I didn't find a good solution. Maybe I could have pushed a bit more the bruisers here to block the flank completely and provide some cover. But yeah, most of his unit don't care. I mean, Pathfinder, the 0+ shooty bolt thrower, I mean, doesn't care too much about what I might do, and even Chilling Goal is not doing that much. What else happened? So Magic Phase, turn 2, I got Swarm of Insect, kill 4 Pathfinder, which is nice. Totemic Summon behind the Archer, which is also good news. I did 1 wound to the Tree Father with my poison shooting. His turn 3 pushes the Tree Father in front of them, minimizing the contact, uses the chaff here, and he starts to activate the Dragon that is at the same time chaffing the dogs, but also looking at my backline. So starting to get interesting. Rally those Eagles, and the rest just rearrange, brought all the Briar Maiden to deal with my Totemic Summon. In the Magic Phase, he got Swarm of Insect on my Death Star, which did nothing, and he also got Break the Spirit on the Tuskers, in case I want to charge his Tree Father. I let that go. I decided I can still reform and move 8 towards his battle line and charge in the back with the Frosty, which I felt is still okay. Shooting, he did a total of 6 wounds to the Mercvets, so not many wounds left. 2 wounds to the Beast, which is still alive, surprisingly, and 4 wounds to the Tribesman. So it hurts, it hurts. My turn, charge the Chaff, charge with the Totemic in the back of the Archer, and charge the back of the Tree Father with my Frost Mammoth. Move the rest, everybody out of arc of him, basically. Change the unit with the BSB, and the Mercvets move away. Let's move on to magic. He Binding Scroll Totemic Summon. I got -1 resilience on the Tree Father with Smite. And he dispelled Chilling, I guess. And then close combat with 4 attack of Archer. He roll a 6 and kill the Totemic, which could happen. I cleaned the small mage, and here I did 1 wound. He did 1 wound to me. He lost his Stubborn on 8. Passes the check and passes the reform as well, which is not what I wanted, but I knew this could happen. So here we're stuck in combat. Yeah, move the archer forward. It's kind of blocked, so to chaff the Tuskers, he's going to concede 1 scoring, but at the same time I'm going to lose 1 very soon as well. Move the Briar to double chaff me, and move the Briar out of arc of everybody to start threaten my backline. Those guys, yeah, continue to zone me, more or less, and the rest just rearranging, more or less. In the magic phase, he got 2d6 strength 4, did 1 wound to the Murkvet, which was surprising, and then the dragon 2-up, killed the Murkvet. So easy to do it. And with other shooting, I think he killed 1 bruiser and kills some other wounds here. I think he killed 3 tribesmen here, so it goes so quick away. It's crazy to see just Ogre disappearing from his shooting. It's crazy how fast it goes. And this close combat, this time I do 1 wound. He does 3 wounds to me, so I lost by 2, and I passed the 6 rerollable, fortunately for me. My turn 4, charge the archer in the flank, charge his chaff with the Death Star, or what remains of the Death Star. Move out of arc of those guys with the BSB's unit, turn around the other bruiser unit to threaten a little bit his back, and Giant just move a bit sideways in the magic phase, and those guys a bit forward to be non-chargeable by them. In the magic phase, I got +1 toughness on them just to avoid the charge of the eagle against my dogs. And here he rolled 2 6s of armor save, did 1 wound to me, I lost by 1, and I passed another check. So I'm not so unfortunate. Here I get rid of them, so I get a flag, so it's 1-1. And here I kill the chaff and just a pivot. His turn 5 uses those guys to basically chaff my 2 unit looking at him. Or even 3, also chaffing them as well. So as you can see, it's really, yeah, we are so close from each other. It's easy for him to multi-chaff me, move around to shoot those guys, and here we're stuck in combat. I Binding Scroll 2d6 strength 4 this time. I dispel Swarm of Insect. He got Broke the Spirit on the Tuskers. And what else? He shoots all the bruisers and did 2 wounds to my BSB, which is really annoying. Yeah, close combat, and now I get some luck back. I kill the Tree Father before he strikes, so I'm left on 1 wound, but I finally dealt with the Tree Father, which was now a bit lucky, because I'm not so good anymore without charging, so yeah, that was at least the good news. And I think that's it. And yeah, in his magic phase, I dispel also a Totemic Summon with my 4 dice against his 2, so it was not so easy, but I was happy because he could have chaffed something. No, I think not this round, excuse me. I already told you about magic phase. What happened at my turn 5, I charge his eagles with my chaff piece, and I turn around and bring the BSB in this unit, try to save his points, move away here. So I'm down by 1 flag now, but I'm trying to threaten both for turn 6. I turn around with the Tuskers, reform this way to be able to move in his flank, and basically cannot escape my line of sight no matter what happens. And here I move in front, telling him you can charge me, and we'll see what happens. Or you can try to march, and if you fail, I can charge you. That's basically the idea. In the magic phase, I get Chilling All and Savage Fury on those guys. I felt if next round they fail the 9 maximize, they have to go in my Death Star. Potentially interesting for me to avoid some shooting. So this could be nice. And close combat, I make them flee. They flee off the board, and I just restrain here and look at his backline. And let's move on to his turn 6. He passes the frenzy check, charge with those guys against the dogs who fled. And here he moved to my side. Yeah, I think the final position was out of arc of them. Those guys fail the march check, which is nice. I can charge them. And here he moved the master to block the straight line to avoid them charging into the bunker. Which is tempting, but I'm down by 1 flag. Yeah, it's 2-1 for him. I have here 3 wounds left on the tribesman, so I'm going to lose this one as well, most likely, meaning I need to get this one and this one. So yeah, I see what he tries to do, but I need to try to kill the flag basically. Okay, in his magic phase this time I use 4 dice against 2 to dispel the totemic to avoid the chaff of the Tuskers. I dispel also +1 strength. He failed hereditary and 2d6 strength 4. Did some wounds here. He killed the master mainly. With the shooting, he killed Tribesman, killed the BSB. So I have only Great Khan and the Apprentice alive, which is a shame, but that's how it is. And yeah, I think that's it. So as you can see, I could have not turned away. I think here, yeah, I don't know if I can move 3, jump the BSB and still look forwards. Would have been maybe better, I guess. I don't know. That's for his turn 6. My last turn, so let's go. Charge, he passed the terror check. Charge here. We will see what happens. If I get both flag, it's tie on the flag. So we will see. There is still some suspense. Magic phase. He dispelled the End of Heaven that went on the Druid. And Smite the Unbeliever didn't matter. Close combat. Let's start with here. I break him. Did a lot of wounds, but I didn't catch him. And here, it's too bad because with impact hit, I kill exactly 5, making 1 model out of combat. And this happened because he failed charge 6, meaning, yeah, I couldn't get better than that. And then with the remaining attack, I killed some, but he was steadfast and he passed the 8 rerollable, I guess, or 7 rerollable to stick. So I got nothing here and I got half point here. There was hope, there was hope. So I ended up losing 4-16, another big loss after the last game. Very frustrating because I lost all my points except the Frost Mammoth from shooting. So it's crazy. Obviously he won the secondary, which was, yeah, it was always going to happen. And I took some points by rushing close combat, won the monster battle that wasn't so easy at all. And took some points, but still losing big. If I would have make him break the 2 combat turn 6, I would have been close to like 8 or something. So yeah, I wasn't too far from a draw, but still it's so difficult matchup. Post game analysis. I think it's really hard to attack on refused flank, capture the flag when you play second. I think it's way too hard. I was surprised to still get a shot at secondary at drawing hit, so I tried what I could. Attacking, yeah, basically I knew that when I push forward I get points from his chaff, but his mobile unit can escape at some point and threaten my backline. I knew that. I managed to avoid the dragon going into combat, but still the range damage was just way too much for me. Could have played better at some point, I think, with the darts. Thinking also the Death Star reform maybe, turn 5, I don't know, would have got a better opportunity with not turning around, try to charge the archer last round maybe, or force him to feed me chaff. There was maybe a couple of other options that I could have. Like I said, shooting was way too strong for my list. And I think his forest, that's just a detail, but his forest, he placed it here. I think if he would have placed it here and start moving this forest from turn 1 towards here, it makes a line with 2 forests, a hill, and impassable. That is really hardcore for me to go through. Thinking about choosing the side, I think I didn't make the right choice necessarily. I could have potentially picked this part of the map to get a forest and a hill, and maybe even a wall. I think some covers to start with. Just being the open terrain when not starting, it was way too hardcore for my Merc-Vets, which was a big issue, obviously. So yeah, guys, that's all for the battle report. Still interesting to play because it's a hard matchup, but it's still interesting to see what I can do, what I can try out. But yeah, it was really complicated, a bit frustrating because I didn't had many combats. I tried to get him, but he just played avoidance, give chaff, so that happens sometimes in this type of matchup. Still, I'm not a big fan of his list because I think scoring-wise it's way too weak, and in most secondary objective would have lost secondary against me. Thinking about spoil, all the ground, king of the hill, maybe even sacred target. So I think in most breakthrough even, I think as well. So I think in most cases it's hard for him to win secondary. It's maybe the only one that he can win safely is capture the flag. But I still think it's, yeah, not, avoidance lists are not a thing anymore because of secondary. I think so. It can still work, but with a bit more combat element. I think it was combat-wise still a bit too weak, so to say, to really pretend be able to win some secondary objectives, which requires board control, basically. Guys, that's it for this training. I hope you like the battle report, and I will talk to you soon on the channel. What's coming up next on my channel? I'm playing a tournament, solo tournament, 3 games in Switzerland next weekend, which is going to be a perfect warm-up for the WTC World Team Championship, which is happening towards the end of the month in Germany. I'm going to attend to the tournament with Team Switzerland. Very excited to go there. If you're watching the channel and you're going to this tournament, don't hesitate to have a chat with me. I'm always happy to get some feedback on the content and have a chat with fellow players, especially with ones who like the battle reports. It's always nice to hear some, basically what you think on my battle report, and always happy to meet people. I think our hobby, the 9th Age, it's about community, it's about people, and therefore it's always a part of the hobby that I like a lot, basically to be able to exchange with people about part of the hobby that we like, and also about different cultures, countries, and so on. So don't hesitate to come to me and have a chat at WTC. Basically, this means a lot of battle report coming up on the table, not only Warhall. Warhall is nice, but obviously we like our miniatures, so definitely looking forward to provide some more battle reports with actual miniatures. Guys, thanks a lot for watching this battle report. Talk to you soon on the channel. Bye.